Again, I'd love to say we've succeeded. So now let's declare success, close the books, move on to something else. And in fact, you have a very ironic, I would say, comparison to look at today. When we see the people who are coming, the people that the Naumann Foundation will gather first here these days in Europe that will then come to the United States, they're remarkably more mature, educated, knowledgeable, and skilled in all of these areas than the first participants were. They've learned a great deal, and they've already accomplished a great deal in their own countries. So that's a great, I think, positive benefit that we see in the program we're doing. But you know, some of those same problems that we were witnessing in these countries 25 years ago, we're witnessing again. You know, in the early 90s, particularly in Central and Eastern Europe, we saw, and I say this of special interest from a Jewish perspective, the difficulty societies had to look back to their own Holocaust-era past, to acknowledge the role that their own citizens played in the persecution of their Jewish neighbors at the time. This has been a difficult process. In the early 90s, we thought we had succeeded in significant measure in getting countries to look critically at that past, to really stop a process of rehabilitating fascist-era leaders, using them as somehow vehicles to support their new nationalism. We saw historical commissions being created, legitimate, critical museums of history, including museums of the Holocaust, being established in these countries. In many ways, we thought we've succeeded. We've almost solved the problem. But look today, in some of these same countries, those fascist leaders of over now half a century ago, from the 1940s, are returning. We see maybe not an outright denial of the Holocaust, but we see a distortion of its history in some of these countries. So our work is still there. And I have to say, we have our own challenges in the United States. I would not have imagined that today we would be confronting what we are in America. So our work is one that requires effort on both sides of the Atlantic.